Well, guten Tag and welcome to another video from the Munich Motor Show. We are here with what I think might just be one of the surprise stars of the show. It's not easy being French at the Munich Motor Show because you get tucked away into the corner of one of the weird halls, right? Mercedes, Audi, they've got these enormous stands and they get all the headlines and all the attention. Poor old Renault, slightly tucked away in the corner, but no matter, because this car is quite a big deal. This is the new Renault Megane E-Tech, and it's going to replace the outgoing ICE Megane. It's electric only from now on. It's not petrol, electric or diesel. It's just a pure EV going forward. And that is a huge statement of intent from Renault about what their intentions are for the future. So I'm going to give you a walk around this fantastic new car, which by the way, going into production next year. And then just as a little bit of dessert at the end of the video, we're going to have a quick look at the gorgeous Renault 5 concept that's over there somewhere. So let's get into it. This is the Renault Megane E-Tech, and this is fully charged. So, Renault Megane E-Tech, what's the big fuss? Well, the big fuss for me is that last electric Renault we had was the Zoe, and it was fantastic. We've had to wait quite a long time for the next one, and it's finally here. And there is a lot of good news to share with this car, starting with the fact that it sits on bespoke EV architecture. We like that around here, particularly because it means extra space for the occupants and often a little bit more range because the batteries are cleverly packaged. You can squeeze a few more of them in. Interestingly, it's actually the same EV architecture that's used on the incoming Nissan Ariya. They decided to share some componentry there. Elephant in the room, the Megane has gotten a bit bigger and taller than previous models because it's a crossover SUV now. Of course it is, everything is, but you know what? I'm going to forgive them for that because it's a really smart looking one. Let me take you through a couple of design details that I like, starting with this big redesigned Renault badge, very different from what we've seen on past Renaults. I quite like that. Everyone's changing their badges these days. Maybe it's the whole electric thing. Opportunity for a rebrand? I'm not sure. Interesting sort of two-tone front splitter going on here. Three-tone actually, because you've got the kind of gold accents with the black bumper. And I'm a big fan of this sort of textured material on the grille here, which I'm presuming allows a little bit of cooling in and also looks quite nice. It's hard to believe that this isn't a concept car. It's really striking. Get a load of these headlights with this really lovely angular daytime running light, lots of design and little stripy bits going on in there. Smart looking car. Let's have a look around the back, shall we? And once again, lovely looking thing. I really like this bottom. Look at these brake lights in this car. So much detail and design going on. Nice and thin, full light bar across the back because every new car has to have a light bar. It's the law. I don't know why. I don't know when it was established, but it is the law. It's just a very impressive thing. It looks quite different from any Renault we've had before. You can tell that they have put a lot of time and effort into this car. Renault was in a bit of a sticky situation financially quite recently, and they've completely changed their strategy. They've decided to focus on lower volume, higher quality with their cars. That doesn't mean that they're all going to be really expensive going forward. It just means they're slightly rethinking their approach to building and selling cars. They call it the Renaulution, which I sort of love and hate at the same time. And this is sort of the car that's going to kick it all off. And it really is a statement of intent, isn't it? Let me talk you through some key numbers that you need to know. I'm going to cheat and look at my phone because this is one of 9,000 cars that we're talking about today. And I haven't memorized the numbers. Sue me. Battery. We've got two options, 40 or 60 kilowatt hours. That equates to a WLTP range of 186 or 294 miles, so pretty impressive range. Pushing 300 miles for the bigger battery, okay, that's WLTP, probably more like 250, but for what is most likely going to be used as a city car first and foremost, most likely ample, I would say. Two options, both are single motor front wheel drive, but one's a bit beefier than the other. You can have either 130 or 220 brake horsepower, so that bigger motor option should be fairly nippy. That's almost hot hatch territory, if you can call this a hatchback. It's probably a bit beefy to get away with that title, but close enough. And something I really like about the way they've put this car together is it is made as ethically as possible as far as the materials used. For example, 0 rare earth metals used in the motor of this car, which is quite unusual for an electric car. And more impressively, the battery is made using a special low cobalt chemistry. less cobalt, definitely a good thing. And allegedly, it also improves the car's performance at low temperatures. The battery doesn't lose as much range in the cold because it's got less cobalt in, for science reasons that Helen Chursky could probably explain if she was here, but I can't. Well, well, well. This is a bit nice. This is literally, I've just sat in this car for the first time. You're getting my off-the-cuff reactions to this interior. First things first, it feels extremely premium in here. They've got nice leather on the center console and the seats, and an interesting little piece of trim on the door here, which is kind of nicely textured. We've got some contrast stitching. It's a nice looking cabin. In terms of the tech, wow. 2-screen setup. Classic landscape screen in place of a gauge cluster in front of me. We're used to that these days. And then, again, as we're seeing in many new electric cars, we've got a nice big portrait touchscreen in the middle. And what's nice is the way it's integrated. The whole thing sort of curves towards the driver. Reminds me a little bit, and here's a reference that many fully charged people will not get, of an early Supra cockpit, sort of curved in towards the driver. There you go. 5 of you will appreciate that reference. The rest will be like, what? What else am I noticing? Well, some lovely little touchy buttons down here, actual physical buttons, and really nice tactile ones as well. Those feel quite premium. Really nicely located wireless phone charging port just underneath the infotainment system. Couple of air vents, very minimalist power button. And again, I just really like the sort of rethink of the design language. Really a fan of this new Renault logo in particular. Quite square steering wheel, that's interesting. Don't hate it. And we've got, oh, actually, those are physical buttons. I thought they were capacitive. Actual physical buttons on the steering wheel. Yes! And they're really big, super simple. They look very easy to hit. It strikes me as being a fairly intuitive cockpit. I don't think you'd find anything in here too intimidating, but at the same time, it is quite fresh and futuristic in the way it's designed. Ooh, this is very nice. Back seats, let's have a look. Okay, a very nice / quite stern French lady has just informed us that we need to get off the stand because we've used our time allotment. So here's the back seats. Yeah, you know, that's a seat. It's not amply roomy. Granted, the seat is in my freakish driving position, but I'm fitting okay. I could do a short to medium journey in here. I'm seeing a couple of USB-C ports, but the quality definitely has taken a step up from previous Renault models. That's one of the things that's jumping out to me here. The build quality and the design, big step up to something like the Zoe. That's good to see. Right, let's get out of here before someone tases us. Right, we're finishing the video on this side of the road because, well, we got kicked out for taking too long. We didn't take that long, but it's a motor show. Lots of people trying to get some time with the car. We used ours up. C'est la vie. We're just going to wing it, Andy. These things happen. We forgot to talk about the side profile when we were, you know, in the posh bit inside the rope. So let's talk about it a little bit now because it is, well, it's just a really nice looking car, this. I really just like the proportions of it. It's quite squashed and chunky and lovable, and 20-inch wheels, by the way, on this model here. You can have 18s or 19s as well. I suspect most people will probably choose those, although it does look good with these big shiny ones. I like the black roof, the sort of two-tone design. That black roof really kind of lowers your gaze. It kind of leads you to focus on all this stuff down here, and it makes the whole car kind of seem lower and squatter. I think calling it a crossover is almost a stretch, isn't it? At this point, we really have blurred the lines between car types. It doesn't really matter anymore, but that, to my eye, sort of big hatchback, really. Big hatchback. And I like that. That's quite French. Yeah, Renault Megane E-Tech. Like I said, potentially one of the surprise stars of this year's show. Not a concept, going into production next year, electric only. Very big statement of intent for Renault. They've done away with the ICE Megane. It's been a stalwart in their lineup for such a long time, and they've fully committed now, and they're going electric only. I really respect that, because where brands like VW are sort of hedging their bets by carrying on with the Golf and building the ID3, Renault have gone, no, we're all in. Lecky. Well, 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 here is a car I've been very excited to see in the metal. It's the Renault 5 concept. Now, when this was first unveiled as part of Renault's Renaulution press conference, it very much was just a concept car, but the reception that it was received was so overwhelmingly positive that Renault has since announced that it's going into production in 2024, no less, which is further away than I'd like, but not too far away. 3 years from now, you'll be able to buy one of these, and here's the really exciting part. We reckon it's going to cost around, well, slightly less than £20,000 entry price. They claim that it's going to cost about a third less than the Zoe, so we've run the numbers in our head, and that to me works out at about 18.5 grand. The days of small, affordable electric cars are not too far away, people, and, well, some of them are going to be very, very good looking. We don't have enough time to do a full design walk around. Andy's going to shoot some beautiful B-roll of this car once I'm done talking nonsense, and we'll just overlay those so that you can enjoy them. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, here's the best bit of all. About a year after the Renault 5 goes into production, guess what we're getting? An Alpine version. Alpine, Renault's motorsport division, they're going to get their hands on this thing and they're going to turn it into a little hot hatchback. Oh, yes please. Right, that's it. We've run out of time on the Renault stand. People are starting to give me frowny faces, so we're going to round off. If you have been, thank you for watching.
Yes, it's the Great EV Giveaway. Don't forget to subscribe and enter for your chance to win all sorts of prizes, including one of 4 electric cars.
Well, if you enjoyed that episode, you're going to love this one. And this one, too, is very relevant to the topic. And also, if you want to subscribe to Fully Charged, which is a wonderful thing to do, really helps us, costs you nothing, you just click up there. It's really simple. And if you do want to support us a little bit more, you can have a look at the Patreon link. That's up there. Thank you.